What do we know now? 10-year absence, and it's back in the game, is it, in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, big time actually for Citigroup, who exited Saudi Arabia in 2004 by giving up a banking license there. So this move is quite a big initiative from their side to try and get back to the kingdom at the time when there are major reforms happening and big initiatives like potential IPO of Saudi Aramco to massive privatizations, mega bond issuances. So we've seen it all in Saudi Arabia, and I think Citigroup realizes is that this is probably the best time to be in there.
So it's applied for this license, which it needs. What's it doing on the side, Dinesh, to target business opportunities?
So we had reported a story sometime late last year, I think in September, about Citigroup creating a task force internally, which included some of its senior-most bankers to evaluate opportunities in Saudi Arabia. And the bank has been constantly having those discussions internally, weekly calls globally to see what are the business opportunities. So as part of which, the result of that, we saw Citigroup, coming in as a key bank on the mega bond they issued, around $17.5 billion of debut sovereign bond issuance. So I think these are all the initiatives the bank have been taking. So they've been on this for a while now. They realize it's a big opportunity and they're moving in the right way. Yeah.
Dinesh, Saudi Prince bin Talal has a stake in Citigroup. Does that give it an advantage over other foreign banks that are also in Saudi Arabia, such as Deutsche Bank, Kuwaiti banks and so forth?
I think it, of course, helps to have a shareholder who has, linkages with the royal family, is part of the royal family himself. So that does give them an advantage. But I think, this in Saudi Arabia, for a bank who kind of exited the country and to come back is not an easy task. So they've been doing the right things, but it's about showing a lot more of commitment on the ground, having people on the ground once they have this license, but also participating in some of the key reform initiatives, which included the bond issuance in last year. Potentially, we also understand from our sources that they're one of the banks who are pitching for a role in the Aramco IPO. So I think those are the kind of initiatives which the government would definitely like to see them taking part in.
Now, the regulator, the Capital Market Authority, would have to give a license. Is there anything to suggest that there would be any impedance to that?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything to impede the regulator giving Citigroup a license?
So as far as we understand, the license is not final yet, but we do know that they're in advanced discussions. A lot of factors would come into play, but so far we think, based on the discussions we've had, is that it shouldn't be a big surprise if they end up winning it.
Are other international banks doing the same, Dinesh, or not?
Yes, there are a few other banks who would definitely want to have a role in Saudi Arabia. So for instance, Credit Suisse has said that they are looking at a banking license, a full-fledged banking license in the kingdom.